Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Valen, and this is ModJam 5. I'm not affiliated with anyone from ModJam, nor was I asked to do this video for anyone but me. This video is intended to give a sample of some, if not all, of the entries in ModJam 5. Please vote for your favorite, and check them out. Links are in the description below. Lastly, don't base your opinion of the mods entirely on what I do or don't show here, as I'm not an expert on these mods. These mods, and myself, may not be in working order and are to be considered potentially work in progress, like myself. There are 4 categories: solo mods, team mods, solo maps, and team maps. This video is to represent the solo mods. This mod is called Inventory Generators by KJMaster2, art by iGrek, and it allows you to have inventory, generators. Very simple, right? Inventory, survivalist generator, and so on. It's inspired from extra utilities too, but these need to be in your inventory and actually in order to function. So if you look here, I hold shift, generates redstone flux from burnable items in inventory. Now this is just this one here, the survivalist generator. You see I've got oak wood. I already have sneaked. If I sneak and right click, it then turns it on, and you can see that it is generating RF, or redstone flux, a type of power in modded Minecraft. And of course you can change your different modes if they are available, and it is currently burning through any items in my inventory. Now there are other ones, like this one here will generate redstone flux from undead mob drops in your inventory. So like bones and the like will end up powering this and giving you some RF. And these items can be used to recharge any kinds of armor or other items in your inventory. So they can be quite useful. I think I've got an inventory end generator. This one here can take from ender pearls and ender eye items. So let's grab this one here, shift right, and you can see it ate one of the ender pearls, and it is now generating a whole lot more RF than that survivalist energy generator is at all. So there you go. It's got a lot of different options that you can choose from, including, what do we have? Overclocked, pink, potion, slimy, culinary, death, explosive, furnace, halitosis, frosty, magnetic, nether star, of course, ender, and survivalist. And there you go. Inventory Generators by KJMaster2 with art by iGrek. This mod is called Mob Stacker, and as the name suggests, it allows you to stack mobs. Of course, they may be susceptible to, limitations of one might damage the other and so on, but the recipe is simply just some sticks and a piece of clay. Allows you to, stack some entities. Lots of fun can be had here. Mob Stacker by Blue Pilot. This mod is called the Monk Mod by RWTema. This one allows you to progress through all sorts of advancements, allowing you to gain special abilities, including that of being able to mine with the speed of a diamond tool, being able to, get jump boosts, to teleport around, to also even make friends, stop and defuse creepers, forego armor because I am not wearing any, but yet I have some, and extra health, reduced food intake needed, also the ability to breathe longer underwater, as well as walk on top of it if I so desire, and the ability to have some fire resistance or immunity for short periods of time. And if I happen to, get into a fight, I can always kill things very easily with my special attacks. The Monk Mod, allowing you to do quite a lot of stuff with very little to no items. All based upon an advancement system that was designed here for you to follow, with lots of different clues so that you can perhaps unlock your special ability. By RWTema. This mod is called Musical Energy by Trent V4. And he actually provided a world with which to better demonstrate how this mod works. You have 3 instruments to choose from: the harmonica, the flute, and the vuvuzela. As you see here, the harmonica, all spell effects are cast on you. So therefore, the harmonica, in this case it is not tuned, so it's not going to make a sound, will cast on yourself. A flute, all spell effects are cast on the looked at entity. So if I look at that fence post over there, that's what I'd be casting it on if that were an entity. Vuvuzela, all spell effects are cast on nearby entities. So it's kind of an area of effect. And there are different special effects that you can tune these instruments to. Each one can be tuned to up to 3 at a time. Death, deal damage to the target but also yourself. Life, heal the target. Fire, to set the target on fire and deal some minor damage. Earth, deal some medium damage to the target. Water, slow the target and extinguish it. Air, move the target away from the caster or straight up. And how to use them, you select the instrument, you type in /tune, and then whatever attunements you would like. You can see here I currently have some that are already tuned. Select the spell effects you want. The spell is set to a particular item. Right-click to play the tune. The whole tune must be played, so if you start and you let off before the tune is finished, it will not actually take effect. Maximum of 5 spell effects per instruments. They stack and mix. My apologies, I thought it was 3. There are 5. Now, let's get out here. I already have the instruments here, and this one here says try using Tune Earth Fire with a flute on here. So I have a mystical flute. If I do Tune Earth Fire, there we go. I now look at an entity and set it on fire. And there we go. Just like that. Sheep are down just from blowing a whistle at them, right? Try using Air, Air, Air on harmonica. All right. Tune Air, Air, Air. And keep in mind, I am in creative. So therefore, whee! Normally that might have actually killed me. But yeah, it was a really good jump. So then we've got try using Death Air with the Vuvuzela. So let's grab this. Tune Death Air here. And we can, there we go, use it on them, knock them away at the same time. And there you go. Musical Energy by Trent V4. This mod is called Pocket Blocks by Drullkus. It allows you to have your own personal beacons currently. You'll need to make a personal beacon. As such, with a beacon and a shulker shell, and this will allow you to actually take beacon effects along with you, provided you can keep your inventory straightened. So in this case, I have a personal beacon plus a potion of swiftness with speed 2. I then donate something just like I would in a regular beacon, and I can make it with different beacon blocks, giving an effect. It will then take those two together, and you can see this beacon has been arranged. It has 1 levels and affecting players in a 2-block radius. So this actually will affect those nearby as well. I now have speed 2 wherever I go, provided that this stays as it is. If I break it, it then will start saying it is not going to work. Your speed effect will wear off shortly, and you'll need to reassemble it. Now, as with vanilla Minecraft beacons, you can actually expand them for a greater radius. 6 blocks, etc., allowing 3 levels. And you can also switch it out with some other ones. In this case, I have night vision as well. So if I were to take a few more, I could feasibly have a full inventory of items, give myself some water breathing, speed 2, night vision, and allow myself to go exploring as I want, though I am restricted to what I have available in my inventory. But there you go. Pocket Blocks by Drullkus. This mod is called Portality by Buzz135, and it's meant to, well, teleport multiple things across dimensions or just further on the same dimension, depending upon how you upgrade it. This is an example of part of the multi-block structure that you'd have to create. You'll need to make some portal frames, which are, made from nether quartz and stone. Whole lot of them, in fact. You'll need to make a 3-deep 5x5 circle, or rather square, my apologies, so that you get something like this. And then you'll also need at least 1 portal controller, which is a few of the portal frames, some diamonds, and a bit more quartz. And that will get you this. What does it allow you to do? Once assembled, you'll get this kind of animation, and this is what it should look like. 3 deep, 5 tall, and 5 wide, with a 3x3 opening in the center. Now, if you want, you will need to power this in some way. In this case, I'm using Ender IO with a Stirling generator being hooked up. And you can actually have this go a certain distance, or if you have it upgraded, it will go interdimensionally. Now in this case, it is just set to go within the same dimension. And there's only 1 other portal available, portal number 2. Now if you look here, it is saying it will go to portal number 2. And this one will go and receive from portal number 1. So if I hop through, whoop, I'm shot through into the other portal, just like that. Now I can shut it off. just by clicking on here. And there we go. It now shuts it off and disconnects both portals. Now, as I was saying, you can actually upgrade these just by replacing blocks in the frame. You can put an interdimensional module in there, item modules, there's fluid modules, energy modules. You can send all these things interdimensionally and so on. Therefore, you've got your different recipes and such for how to make these, how they can be useful. Now, this one here, this is portal number 2. I have this one set up for interdimensional. So therefore I have portal number 1, which is over here on the left, and a portal in the nether. So if I go through here, I will end up in the nether. Boop. Just like that, I am now in the nether. And of course, this one is being powered as well. It has an interdimensional upgrade, replacing one of the blocks. I can pop back through, and I come back out of portal number 2. And then I can shut that one down as well if I so desire. And if you notice, this one is set with item modules. Let's do call portal. We're going to go with number 1. This has a type input item module. So I can throw things through here and they will go in and come out of number 1. The reason why they're coming out of number 1 is because I snuck on the backside an item module type output. So therefore items can just be thrown through and so on. And therefore you can upgrade these with the different ones here. This is Portality by Buzz135. This mod is extremely simple. It is Raining Cats and Dogs by The Fireplace. Ocelots and wolves will fall from the sky during thunderstorms. It apparently has some compatibility options in there for weather storms and tornadoes mod as well. So the ocelots typically will land on their feet and should be all right. Though, yeah, dogs, less than. So therefore, be aware that they may die. And no, servers do not need to have this mod, or servers that have this mod don't necessarily have to have the client having it as well. So you can sneak this on there as part of a mod pack so that people might not be aware. There you go. Raining Cats and Dogs by The Fireplace. This mod is called Recipe Research by ZenDarva. It adds in one block that can do quite a bit. It's actually currently recipe is like this, though that can be changed, and there's a lot of configuration with this. Once you place this block, you can then access it and put things to be scanned in there. For instance, I have some string. Let's put a piece in there. It will eventually slowly scan that out and potentially get me some kind of research note. There you go. A research note has been produced. Research about string. I then have this option here, click, and look, you learn about the applications of string. Velen Frostweaver just discovered bows. This is kind of a way of gating ages or allowing progression through something like a sky block, or just something that people could use in a different mod pack. Very creative use of Recipe Research by ZenDarva. This mod is called Super Jerry 2's Drone Mod, and yes, it's by Super Jerry 2. And it's quite interesting, if I do say so myself. It adds in 3 different types of drones plus a drone stick. Each one has a simple recipe, and then perhaps you might actually add on to that to create something like a fighter drone or a tree farm drone. Each one is very unique in its abilities. To start with, you have a hauling drone, which if you right-click on something, that will be its home. And if it's a chest, it will try and collect items that are nearby and then bring them back to a chest. If you have some kind of issue with them, you can always just shift right click and turn them into a regular little entity. But otherwise, they will try and pick up about 2 items at a time, as you can see here, and they will deposit them back in the chest. Now, of course, there are other types. As you see here, there are fighter drones. You can place them down and that becomes their home area. If I have a... let's bring in a spider friend for a volunteer. Just toss one over here and they will start attacking and take him out. Then, of course, any hauler drones nearby should pick up any drops eventually if they aren't already busy picking up some others. Then there is the last drone, which is the tree farm drone. This guy here is going to be a little bit more interesting. You just need to put some saplings in there and he'll start planting them. He may wander around to random locations, and then once he's planted them, he will also harvest automatically any trees nearby that were in those locations that he planted. If you plant something, he won't necessarily harvest it in time, but Yeah, as you can see, he snuck around behind me there and chopped down the whole tree, and he's already planting a whole bunch more. So you've got a whole little drone army of guys that you have here that you can have do a bunch of mundane tasks, as well as protect your base and just do really cute little things here. They look pretty cute. There you go. Super Jerry's drone mod. Super Jerry 2's drone mod by Super Jerry 2. This mod is called Selim's Backpacks by Selim 042. It will creates a way of adding a backpack to just about any kind of armor. In this case, I'm just using vanilla, and it should work with most chest plates at least. Now, if you notice here, it says leather tunic equipped with backpack. Recipe for that is to just take your leather tunic and add a vanilla chest. Simple enough, same recipe with all the rest of them, except you interchange the chest plate with each different type of chest plate. And you'll get this with there. And you use the key binding, in this case it's G, and you'll open up a backpack with storage in there that you can take out and use as needed. On top of that, you can upgrade this at least a little bit. Currently with a collection backpack upgrade, which will automatically pick up anything left on the ground and go directly into your backpack, and a capacity one, which, as before you see here, it has now reduced because I just took that out. It has also another key binding to open up your upgrades. Now if I pick up this stake, you'll see that that has now gone into my backpack as well. There you go. Selim's Backpacks by Selim042. This mod is called StarTech, man. Legendary mod? It's based on loosely based on Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where you can 3D print your own weapon, or weapons. In this case, as you can see, I'm dual wielding, and yes, I can fire both at the same time. With glorious effects. So the idea behind this one is that you want to create a blueprint creator, which is a bunch of blocks of iron, some buttons, and some glass will make this blueprint creator, as you see here. You place it down, and as you are able to change the different colors, each one will represent different things. Blue represents your ammunition, yellow represents your speed of fire, and the gray and the dark gray, they typically represent how much damage your gun does per shot, as well as how much ammunition is also being used per shot. So therefore, you have a limited amount of ammunition with these guns. So if you look on my gun here, you can see that the very tip of it is actually a much darker blue than the version that is shown here. Reason being is that is part of the ammunition that is gone at this point. I've used up some of it, and therefore it's only a limited use weapons. They are only good as long as you have ammunition for them. So if you really want to take full advantage of it, you'll want to have a whole lot of blue on there. But then again, you'll have other disadvantages, or your gun might be super bulky or something like that, but it can be a lot of fun nonetheless. So the next steps in this are to make a printer. Once you have chosen the colors that you want, actually let me remove that gun, and then you can actually add them on. As you see here, you can just totally fill the entire thing out. You shift right click and you'll get or on the hologram itself, and you get a blueprint. You then toss the blueprint in your printer. Actually, let me take this out. You then give it a redstone signal. It will create a new gun from that, which then you can just right click and take the gun out. As you can see here, I have this new gun, and I can start using it along with others. I can dual wield just by putting one in my offhand, and then I'm shooting 2 shots at the same time. So you too can become Star-Lord, have a lot of fun shooting things and causing all sorts of mayhem. And yes, it is free at this point, but I mean, you do have some kind of investment on creating these things, and they are a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun just to kind of mess around with making your own, pistol designs for Minecraft. So there you go, StarTech, man. Legendary mod by Nictogen. This mod is called Strides by Martacus. This adds a lot of, well, minimalistic boots that may have special abilities. If you look at different types of boots, you've got +1 armor from leather, you have +2 from iron, and +3 from diamond, and so on. These ones all add about +2, so they're about the equivalent of iron armor, but they are basically made from leather boots. As you can see, you can add all sorts of different effects to them with all the different recipes that are available, and each one will give you different abilities. Now, in this case, I'm currently wearing Flower Strides, which is just made with some kind of flowers around leather boots. And wherever you go, you create flowers. I mean, it's it's pretty amazing when you can actually like just draw pictures running in circles with flowers. It's pretty awesome. Then there are others like Water Strides, where it allows you a limited speed buff in water, allowing you to move faster. So therefore that's pretty good. Nothing wrong with moving a little bit faster in water with these like water striding boots. Then you've got Animal Strides. Animal Strides allows you to attract animals to you without needing their preferred food. As you can see, this cow is now following me. Let's see if I can actually get this one as well. I'm being attacked. Oh my gosh. Then I've got Trigger Strides. Trigger Strides are a little bit more dangerous. Let's get a spider out here. Put it down. Give it a punch. And whenever it hits you, things explode around you. So, yeah, that's the thing with Trigger Strides. Ice Strides, as you might have guessed, would give you a limited amount of water walking. You could potentially fall out of the way here. As you can see, that squid is just not going to survive this. Then you've got your Hermes Strides, which actually kind of makes it like you're sliding on ice a bit. You go really fast, and when you jump or fall, you've got a very slowed falling effect, as well as you don't take any fall damage. And then, of course, you've got your Obsidian Strides, which, well, they basically eliminate any downward motion. So if I jump up, boop, I instantly appear on the ground where I was, and I negate fall damage. So if I am up in the air in creative mode and I change my mode back to game mode 0, boop, I will almost instantly hit the ground. It's very fast. It's just going to pull you down like gravity boots of a sort. And there you go. Strides by Martacus. This mod is called Superflat Customizer by ApexModder. Have you ever wanted to have the option to actually change some of the presets in Minecraft? This gives you that option here. So to give an example, let's choose Superflat, then Customize, and it adds in this new Customize button. Choosing that, of course, you can always choose a preset if you so desire, but choosing Customize, you can then change all of this. You can add layers. For instance, let's add stone number 2, which is polished granite. If I want, I could choose 1. Give it a second, it'll say it's regular granite. What if it's 0? Then it will add in regular smooth stone. Let's add that. Biome, you can change it to just about any of the biomes you want. Let's make it ice mountains. Now remember though, I'm currently adding in grass blocks, dirt, stone, and bedrock. So it's going to be the color of the grass that changes more or less, as well as potentially any of the surrounding things that may spawn in those areas. So I could choose this. Then I can choose Done. We can continue to create the world. And you can see that the vanilla grass is much more, washed out than it normally would be. As before, the different layers are going to be as specified. We've got stone, and below that is going to be bedrock. And you can always change out what you have for each layer as you want. And it's just a really nice way of customizing your super flat worlds to be more like you want instead of having to follow the presets only. Superflat Customizer by ApexModder. This mod is called Template Wands by MineMaarten. It's actually a really good world editing tool that has some survival use as well as creative. So to give an example, I have several wands on my hotbar here. The Iron, Gold, Diamond, and Creative Template Wand. Let's start with the beginning. It's a very simple recipe. You've got gold, and then this one's diamond. Of course, creative does not have a recipe. It is only usable in creative unless you have items in your inventory. Aha, the restriction. Items in your inventory. So you can actually take and move an area that you select in the world. For instance, right-click to start capturing an area. There we go, right click to finish. This is the iron template wand, which is only going to do a total of 27 blocks. And you can do it in a line, in a box, 3D cube, whatever. And when I get too big, you see that it turns red. It says that it's too many blocks and actually shows you how many there are. So feasibly, if I wanted, I could select this area here, and then I could place it, right click, over here. But it says missing 6 grass. That is what is in this entire area. I don't have any in my inventory. So if I get some grass, there we go, and then I place this, it will replace the items in that area with these blocks. So there we go. You see it places it kind of in an inappropriate area. Those ones broke blocks, that broke blocks, that broke blocks, and so on. So therefore it will place the items that I had copied in there. Now further from that, I can actually hit plus or minus in order to copy further. So for example, shift right click clears its memory. And in this case, let's do right click, and then I'm going to do this like so. And if you look on here, it says while holding, press plus or minus to decrease repeat placement. So I could feasibly hit plus, and place grass in multiple planes. Of course, it's not really going to work in that area. Let's try it down here. There we go. And you can see I can just constantly keep placing this if I have enough of the item or items in my inventory. I don't in this case, so it just kind of stopped and says that it's missing a bunch of grass. So that's not the best looking example. So perhaps we can do something a little bit better. I'm going to use the diamond one, and we're going to sneak right click, and I've got this little setup here. You notice that there is a chest with some chain chest plate in it. In fact, let's also put some seeds and some dirt in there. And we've got a torch. We've got some entities here with a cart as well as rail. And I'm going to use the diamond template wand. I'm going to go over here above this by 2 blocks, right click, and I can capture up to 1,331 blocks with this one. But in this case, I just want to 336. There we go. I now have all this entire area. I obviously don't have these items in my inventory, but that's all right. I can mine them all up. Now in this case, I just spawned a bunch into a chest so that I can actually click all these and take them. I have more than I need actually, but I can therefore, even in the air, sneak right click. Oh, I'm missing 1 dirt and 1 acacia wood. Whoops, my bad. Let me get those. All right, there we go. I should have all the items now, and I can right click. And it says I'm still missing an acacia wood. I don't know why it's telling me that, but if I go into creative mode, it will automatically let me spawn the things. But you did see that it required a certain minimal amount in my inventory. There was just a little game glitch there. But it is wonderful with how good it works. If you look, there is now an entity. There's the rail cart, torches, grass, tree leaves, everything. In the chest, everything is as it was. Really, really cool. So I don't know what the deal was with that little glitch with the acacia wood plank being, or acacia wood itself being on there. Like I said, this was just created for ModJam. But hey, you know what? This is really, really awesome, especially if used in a creative fashion. Then I don't need any of these items in my inventory. Let me get rid of that, clear out my inventory, pick up the wand, and I can actually place it several times over, creating a landscape with this as kind of a template overlapping each other. In fact, I could even, and it all depends on how you rotate. You can always press L, I believe, as well, and that'll lock it in place so that you can actually get kind of like around it, and then you can place it, boom, like that. And you can see that you've got kind of like this little area that you can create. So it's like your own in-game world edit. Now, it works pretty good in survival because you actually have to have the items in your inventory in order to be able to do that. So there you go, Template Wands by MineMaarten.